we have imported these two libraries, and now we are supposed to now we are going to create some data points. So we want to create those data points, but let us create those data points randomly. So it is np dot random dot sorry, it is not random int, it is rand int. So randomly generate some integer points in a range of 1 to 10, and let us generate 40 data points in a range of 1 to 10. And if I want to plot these points, so now if I'll print these data points, so it is something like this. So these will be 40 values. But when you say data points on a graph, those data points should have two values, x value and y value, that is x coordinate and y coordinate. But these are single values. So we are supposed to convert those values into 2D data. We are supposed to convert those values into 2D data, and we know how to convert values into 2D data. So for that we can use a data dot reshape method. So here we are telling them that, okay, now how many points are there? 40 points are there. So if I want to convert this 40 points into 2D data, let's say 2 columns in every row. So we will reshape it as 20 rows and 2 columns. We will reshape it as 20 rows and 2 columns. So there will be 20 into 2, 40 values properly. And now if I'll print this data, it is something like that. 9, 4, 4, 3, 1. So x value is 9, y value is 4 for first point. X value is 4 and y value is 3 for second point. And x value is 9 and y value is 6 for last point. So likewise we have 20 points starting from 0 goes up to 19. So now if I want to plot these values on a graph, if I want to plot these values on a graph, so we can use matplotlib plot plt dot plot. So data of colon. So as discussed earlier, when you say colon comma means all the rows. Colon comma means all the rows, and here I'm saying 0. 0 means only first column. So first column means 9, 4, 1, 2, 6 something, this x value. So we are giving him is a x data. That is all the rows and only 0th column, that is 9, 4, 1, 2, 6, 4 and so on. So we are giving a first column. Now we want to give second column, that is y. So we will write data of all rows and first column, and let us say plt dot show. But this is not something which we want. These are not points, no? These are lines. These are not points, these are lines. Since these are lines, but we want points, so how we can get a point? So here we can write O. O means I want points, circles. So now all these points are plotted on a graph in the points of dots. Like first point is 9, 4. So if you will see, this is 9 and this is 4. So this point is plotted. Second point is 4, 3. So this is point 4 and this is point 3. So and so on. So how many points are there? 20 points are there. Let us count how many points are plotted on graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there are 20 points, but only 18 points are plotted because some points are repeated. Some points are repeated. For example, if you will see, this is a 0.96. This is also 0.96, means same values are repeated twice. So these 2 points are plotted as one thing only, 96 over here. That's why even though we have generated 20 points, only 18 points are plotted. And similarly, there might be another point which is repeated. So this is 96, this is 96 repeated. So one is reduced and so on. So if you can find out, is there any other point which is repeated, you will find that point. Okay, this particular point is repeated. And now we want to create a group of this data. Now if we want to create a group of this data, so we can clearly see there are 3 groups. This is a group of 1 points, this is second group, and this is a third group. First group, second group and third group. So Aaron is asking, sir, can we do PLT dot scatter? Yes, Aaron, we can go for PLT dot scatter also. But here I want to point individual points one at a time. So we can use this thing. So Aaron is asking, sir, can we do use PLT dot scatter? Yes, Aaron, you can use PLT dot scatter. And as discussed earlier also, in Python or particularly in SciPy or NumPy or Matplotlib, to do one thing, there are n number of ways. So this is one of the way, and the PLT dot scatter will also work. Okay. Do anyone else is having any doubt? No? Okay, good. Second, let us say instead of blue color, I want some other color. Let us say I want a black color. So I'll say color is equal to black. And now all the points are in black color. If I want all the points in red color, I'll simply write color is equal to red. And all the points are in red color and so on. So we can give color according to our own requirement. Class, any doubt till this point? That we have created the data, we have created 40 points, converted it into a matrix of size 20 rows and 2 columns. So every row we are considering as a 2 points, like x value and y value. So every row we are considering as 1 point, x value and y value. So 0th column contains x value and first column contains y value, and that's what we plotted on a graph using plt dot plot. Class, if there is no doubt, please post it on a group so that we can move forward. No doubt? Okay, thank you. See, class, clustering is very important topic in data science, and it is one of the widely used topics. See, earlier classification and regression, particularly regression was at number 1, classification was at number 2. But now people are using data science for finding the unknowns. When you are talking about classification or regression, they are talking about dealing with some known data. So they know something and they want to know further more about this thing. So they were talking about classification regression. But nowadays people are talking about, okay, I know nothing about this data, but still I want to explore more. And such thing comes under the category of clustering. So this thing is very important as far as data science is concerned. So if you have any doubt at any particular point of time, please tell me, don't hesitate. Yes, so now we know we need to create a data into two, we need to cluster our data. So let us say we want to create 2 clusters. So now I'm going to write some dynamic code so that instead of 2 cluster, if I want to go for 3 cluster, I should be easily able to go for it. Let us say clusters is equal to 2, means I want to create 2 clusters out of these 2 data, means I want to group all these points into 2 groups. So let us say one group and second group. Let us say group 1 and group 2, something like that. But the initial thing is, if you want to create a cluster, so there should be some center for a cluster. Am I right? Even though there is any group in a college, there is some group. It's like you say, na, ki this is a group leader, or okay, this is a student, or this is a person to whom everyone follows, something like that. So similarly, if you want to create a cluster, then the very basic thing required for is, okay, what will be the cluster center? What will be the cluster center? And why you should start with cluster center is what they says. If point is in one cluster, then that point is more near to cluster center as compared to another cluster. So what they say is that points are near to cluster center as compared to another cluster center, something like that. So we need some cluster center to start with. That okay, this is the center for cluster 1, this is the center for cluster 2. But when you have huge number of data, when we have huge number of data, we don't know where to start from. We don't know where to start from. And since you have huge data, which point should be used as a cluster center? Which point should be used as a cluster center? That is a big question mark. Okay, which point we should use as a cluster center? So to solve the problem, what they say is, okay, randomly select the cluster center. What they are saying is randomly select the cluster center, select any point. For example, let us say At the beginning of a class, at the beginning of college, you don't know, okay, there are many players who are saying, okay, I play football, and everyone is like, okay, cricket aate hai apne ko अच्छे से, don't worry. And then you don't know actually which person should be selected as a team captain in the first year. So what you will say, okay, ये दो तीन अच्छे लग रहे हैं, okay, you be a captain, you be a vice captain. But after 1 year, you know, no, this person is better captain as compared to this, or इसको इतना अच्छा नहीं आता है, okay, he can play these shots, but this is his weakness. So and everyone can exploit this weakness. So he cannot be a good captain, or he cannot be a good player. Okay, instead of this, take a this person. So initially you go with some guess, and then as the time passes, you know the better person to be a captain or to be a leader or something like that. So basically, it's a iterative process. You start with something, and over a period of time, things become more and more clear. Similar concept is there in cluster. So when you are starting for clustering, or when you go for clustering, you don't know initially what should be the cluster centroid. So the simplest thing to go for is select it randomly. The simplest thing to go for it, select it randomly. So how can we select it randomly? So now we know how many points are there. Now we know how many points are there. So let us say I'm writing here, I want 20 points. I want 20 points means how many random numbers should I generate? Points into 2. Because if I want 20 points, then there are 40 numbers, na? X value, Y value. For every point, there are two numbers, X value and Y value. So if you want 20 points, you need 20 into 2 number of random points. And while reshaping also, we should reshape it to points number of rows and 2 columns. And now things is clear. Points are changed randomly. Class, any doubt in this point? How to select these random points? That we went for, we want 20 points. See, here I'm using a variable for everything so that our code will become dynamic. So now we know if we want 20 points, we need point into 2 number of random numbers. Point into 2 times random numbers. So we created random numbers, we reshape it to points number of rows and 2 columns. So things are clear. And then we are plotting it. Class, any doubt till this point in this code? So I'm copy posting this code in our WhatsApp group if anyone wants to try this code. Okay, no doubt. Good. So we want to create two clusters. So we are saying clusters equal to 2, and I'm going to select a random number between 0 to 20, something like that. So let us say I want locations for clusters. I'm going for Akkad Bakkad Bombay Bo, that kind of thing. So np dot random dot random int. I want to generate a random number between 2 and points, that is 2 comma 20. And how many random numbers I want? I want two clusters. So I want to create two clusters means so there should be two cluster centroids. So how many random numbers I'm expecting is clusters. Or okay, I'll write it num clusters. So number of clusters are 2. So since there are two number of clusters, I want two random points. I want two random points. And if I'll print this log, so 19th and 7th point will be as a cluster centroids. 19th point and 7th point should be used as a cluster centroids. So let us print that thing as centroids. So I'll say centroids is equal to np centroids is equal to 19th point and 7th point should be used. So data of lock. So I want these rows and all the columns for these rows. So here what it said, 19th row and 7th row. So we want from data, we want 19th row and 7th row, and columns, both the columns. So if I'll run this code one more time, definitely log is going to change, because these points are generated randomly, and let us print centroids also. Oh, there is a typing mistake. So now if I'll run it one more time, so we can see 6th point and 3rd point should be used as a cluster centroids. 6th point and 3rd point should be used as a cluster centroid. So 6th point is 8, 3, and 3rd point is 1, 8. So if you will see 0, 1, 2, 3. 3rd point is 1, 8, 4, 5, 6, 8, 3. So it is saying is 8, 3 and 1, 8 should be as a clustered centroids. So these points should be used as a clustered centroids. So let us plot these points along with data. Let us plot these points along with the data. So I'm copying this code, pasting it over here. So initially I'm plotting these points in a black color. Then I'm saying a plt dot plot. So let us point cluster 1 centroid. So it will be 0th row and 0th column is your first, and centroid of 0th row and first column. So this is row number 0 means cluster 1. Row number 0 means cluster 1. Let us plot it as a point. So we will go for O, and I'm going for color as red. So what I want to plot the first centroid with red color. So I'm going for this, and I want to plot the second centroid with blue color. So second centroid means row 1. So row 1 column 0 means row 1 column 0 means X value, and column 1 means Y value. So row 1 means second centroid Y column, and let us plot this thing. And now you can see. So this is a centroid for first cluster, and this is a centroid for, sorry, red color means first cluster. No? So this is a centroid for one cluster, and this is a centroid for second cluster. So centroid for first cluster is plotted using red color, and centroid for second cluster. So now we know these points should act as a cluster centroids. Now let us start grouping the points. Now let us start grouping the points. So this is the code for your reference if you want to try it on your own. But remember that we are generating point randomly. So your values and my values are most probably different values. So class, any doubt till this point that we randomly selected the cluster centroids and then we plotted those cluster centroids on a graph using two different colors? Any doubt, class? If you have no doubt, then please post no if it is possible on a WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you, Ashwini. No doubt. So let us now, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to assign every point in our data to some of the cluster. We want to assign every point in a data to one of the cluster. So let's say this point is closer to red. That is our first cluster. So this point will be a part of first cluster. This point is also near to this point. So this is assigned to first cluster. But if we'll go to this point, so this point is more closer to this centroid as compared to this. So this point will be assigned to blue cluster. This point, this point, these points are more closer to red cluster as compared to blue cluster. So blue centroid. So these points will be assigned to red cluster or cluster 1. If I'll consider this point, distance of this point from this centroid is less as compared to this centroid, or so this point will be assigned to this cluster, that is cluster number 2, and so on. So basically what we are supposed to do now, we are supposed to calculate the distance between point, every point with these two clusters. We are supposed to calculate the distance between every point with these two cluster centroids, and point will be assigned to the cluster with minimum distance. Point will be assigned to the cluster with minimum distance. So first thing now what we need to do is calculate the distance. Calculate the distance. So how can we calculate the distance? Everyone knows the basic distance calculation factor, that is a Euclidean distance, ED. Everyone knows Euclidean distance, am I right? How it is calculated? X1 minus X2 the whole square, am I right? X1 minus X2 the whole square plus Y1 minus Y2 the whole square, and entire thing will take a square root, na? And entire thing we will take a square root. And square root means either you can take a square root or you can go for raised to 1 by 2 also, no? You can go for raised to 1 by 2. Raised to 1 by 2 is equivalent to square root, am I right? Plus raised to 1 by 2 is equivalent to square root. So let us see how can you calculate Euclidean distance in NumPy. It is simple thing. Let us say you have A as 1 comma 2 and you have B as a 2 comma 3. You have B as 2 comma 3. And now if you want to calculate the Euclidean distance, can I write something like this? A minus B. A minus B means what? Corresponding values are subtracted from each other. No? Corresponding values are subtracted from each other. Let us print this thing. Print C. Sorry, it should be np dot array, and this should also be np dot array. See, 1 minus, when you say subtract, corresponding values are subtracted. 1 minus 2 minus 1, 2 minus 3 minus 1, corresponding values are subtracted. So it is like x1 minus x2 and y1 minus y2. But what we want is square, no? What we want is square. So can I write something like this? np x1 minus x2 a minus b raised to 2. So it will be square of individual values. So let us see, minus 1 square and minus 1 square, am I right? So, or for your reference, I'm doing something like this. C is equal to a minus b raised to 2 and print C again. I'm reusing the variables. So initially 1 minus 2 minus 1, 2 minus 3 minus 1, and square of individual values. So this is x minus x1 minus x2 the whole square, and this is y1 minus y2 the whole square. So for better understanding, let us say 4 2 and 6 3. So 4 minus 2 2, 6 minus 3 3. If I'll run it, 2 square 4 and 3 square is 9. And next thing is what we want to do is x1 minus x2 the whole square. So this is x1 minus x2 the whole square. Next thing what we want to do is summation. Next thing what we want to do is a summation. So I can write something like this: a minus b the whole square and np dot sum. So it is a minus b the whole square and addition of this thing. Let us print this thing now. So 9 plus 4, it's 13. 9 plus 4, it is 13. So it is a minus b, that is x1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 the whole square and summation. The next thing that is required is, the next thing that we want right now is square root. So how can we go for square root? So as discussed earlier, if I want to take a square root, I can take something like this also, no? Power 0.5, power raised to 0.5 or 1.2, no? 1 by